This is Sheriff Spotlight with the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office, highlighting the office and deputies dedicated to providing law enforcement services and maintaining the trust and support of Rockingham County citizens, all while keeping neighborhoods and communities safe.
Welcome everyone, and thanks for tuning in to Sheriff Spotlight. This is our January 2024 edition. I'm Lieutenant Kevin Souther, Public Information Officer for the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office, and in with me today is Sheriff Sam Page. Sheriff, good morning.
Good morning. Glad to be here.
Can you believe it's already 2024?
I know it. I like football. You know that, and,
right?
And so anyway, I'm not going to talk about professional football, but I do want to give a shout out for the Riesel Rams.
Right.
They won the state championship. Just a little right around the corner here. Won the state championship. 23 in 2023, and looking forward to 24 in 2024.
Right.
And we wish all of our high schools success in their sports because we love all high school sports.
That's right. And we hope everybody had a great holiday season.
Yeah.
We are into the new year, and we also want to thank everybody that donated to our toy drive for helping to make that a success.
Very successful.
We helped hundreds of families.
Working with the Salvation Army of Rockingham County.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Okay.
And we do that. And we do that every year.
We do.
So just stay tuned. And again, like I said, next year we'll be rolling again and supporting our local
Salvation Army
of Rockingham County.
Absolutely. All right, now let's talk about the weather that we've seen over the past week or two here. It's been a little.
Where's the snow?
Yeah, well,
it's 30-some degrees out this morning.
Yes.
Where's the snow?
Well, we did see some ice this morning.
Well, one of the schools up in, I think, Wilkes County, they closed the schools today because of weather conditions. But I wouldn't see any. Was any snow up that way, or was it just maybe
I haven't seen that.
Freezing rain?
Nothing that sticks,
Okay.
I don't think, so far.
All right.
But we did see a lot of water last week and this week, and some flooding.
We posted, and when you have a situation where you're having increased rain, a lot of times we have roadways that historically will flood, and when you approach those areas, stuff like this, and you see water running across the road, what's the slogan?
Turn around, don't drown.
That's right. Please turn around, don't drown. I want to thank all of our public safety officers that went out, our volunteer firefighters, our deputies, our police officers were out, our highway patrol, everybody out there working to make sure that emergency management makes sure that we're aware of what was going on, and also we're aware of the dangers. And again, but specifically, I want to thank the DOT. I got a snapshot of the DOT guys out there putting out them barrels,
right.
And that makes a big difference. Don't go around the barrels. If they put them up there, they're for a reason.
Right.
Turn around, don't drown. If it's raining a lot, be careful.
Now, it was cold today, but it's supposed to be even colder over the next few days, and
right.
That means ice on the roadways and just winter is setting in. Why don't you go over a few things with relation to driving and checking on our neighbors and such?
Right. The thing is just make sure that your vehicles, make sure they're in good shape. Make sure you got your tires in good shape, well inflated, because a lot of time when the weather gets cold, your tires will deflate sometimes. Mm-hmm. So make sure you got proper inflation on your tires. Make sure you got all your fluids in there. Make sure, and I always tell people when you're going to travel and stuff, particularly when it's cold, make sure you have extra blankets in case, and flashlight in case you have a breakdown situation,
right?
A flat tire situation. So make sure you have some proper gear in case you need to dress warm and bundle up. Of those, and also make sure you have your cell phone charged up.
That's right.
Because if you can communicate, and you can communicate in most locations, we can get somebody to you and help you.
Right, exactly right.
And also, if we see vehicles, particularly during the wintertime, if we see vehicles broke down on the side of the road, we stop, check, and also you'll see a lot of times you'll see this yellow crime scene tape that's not been because it's a crime, but it's because it's where you tag them on the door handle or the mirror, and that's a kind of signal to let law enforcement, our highway patrol, our police officers, and our deputies out there realize that the vehicle has been checked and no one's in it. Because the last thing you want to do is drive by a vehicle and somebody need help,
right,
and you not check it.
Right, exactly right. On December 30th, we learned of the death of Sergeant Nix with the Greensboro Police Department. He was off duty and tried to intervene in a theft at a Sheetz in Greensboro and was gunned down. Mm-hmm. A lot of us saw alerts on our phones and
Code blue alerts.
Code blue alerts, and I've had a lot of folks asking, what is a code blue alert? Why don't you tell the people what a code blue alert is specifically?
Basically, it's a system of alerting the public when an officer has been seriously injured or killed. They started a few years back, and basically it goes out through the same system as Silver Alert, Amber Alert, to alert the public. Because when someone takes the life of an officer or seriously injured an officer, the public, they don't care about the public either.
Right.
So we want to get that person off the street as quick as we can. Now, I want to commend all the investigators that were involved. They had those persons in custody, there's 3 persons in custody on Sergeant Nix's case where his life was taken within 24 hours or less.
Right.
And I also want to say is all of our thoughts and prayers of our family here at the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office go out to the family of Sergeant Nix, and also his family and his law enforcement family at the Greensboro Police Department. Because when we lose an officer in North Carolina or anywhere across the country, it affects everyone.
It was a senseless death.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, if you're around convenience stores or around any other businesses throughout the year, if you see something that doesn't look right, looks unusual, get on that phone and call 911 and let somebody know so we can get somebody over and check it out.
Absolutely. Now, a local alerting system that we used is called Code Red.
Code Red is a way that you can receive a message, but you got to subscribe to Code Red.
Right.
Now, if Code Blue is pushed out automatically to your phones and other sources, but on Code Red, you can subscribe. You can set a range of, I think, up to about 25 miles of you. So if there's something that's important to you that we're pushing out directly from law enforcement or public safety, it'll come directly to you from us, so you know it's good information. And it's a way just to let you know that there are potential risks or hazards in your area.
And subscribing to it is free.
Subscribing is free.
Free download.
Rockingham County supports the program through our emergency services and through our emergency management and through our 911 center, and we all respond to it. So it's a good program. So if you see a lot of law enforcement officers in your area, something like that, I wouldn't be surprised if you didn't see a code red alert come across on your phone and let you know what was going on. And a lot of people want to know. When you see a lot of officers in your area, people want to know what's going on.
Exactly. Now, bringing it back around, I know we've spoke about this before on the show, but it's a very important topic, and I feel like we need to touch base with it again. The fentanyl crisis, not only in Rockingham County, but all of North Carolina and the United States. What are your thoughts?
Fentanyl, synthetic opioid, very powerful. It is the number 1 killer of persons age 18 to 45 in the United States. Within the past 5 years in this area, we started seeing it. As far as the drug situation goes, we've seen the methamphetamines, the marijuana methamphetamines, the heroin series during the 70s and 80s. We saw the crack cocaine, we saw the opioid epidemic, and now we're seeing the crisis of fentanyl. And it doesn't matter whether you're young or old, rich or poor. If you try something and it's been tainted with fentanyl, it only takes about 2 milligrams to kill you. And what we started doing, recognizing that, is there have been some town halls in some school districts around the state. I went to Northern Guilford, saw it, went with my school board member, and the good thing was we were able to get that information and bring it back to our school board, and we've already had one school that we presented the fentanyl program to. It's about an hour, but talking to the high school kids about it. You and I have gone out and did town halls with some churches this summer. I think it's been very successful, very receptive, because we wanted to reach out to high school kids, middle school kids, college kids, and their parents to let them know the dangers. You cannot experiment with fentanyl. It will kill you.
Right.
It comes from China. The ingredients come from China to Mexico, and then the Mexican drug cartel are the ones that are making the money, putting the product together, and getting it through our open borders. And the problem right now is perpetuating that is the open borders. Current administration is open border policies, not securing the borders, not cutting the flow of those illegal drugs, and not going after the cartel. You want to cut it back, you got to work with people with addiction and work with people that need help, that have an addiction, but you also got to go after the source. And the source we know is in Mexico with the Mexican drug cartels. And until the United States works to dismantle those operations in Mexico, it will continue. until we try to work to decrease the demand for the drugs and treating people with addiction, it will continue.
Now,
it's a supply and demand model.
And, I think one of the things that a lot of the parents that came didn't understand was the 3 forms that the fentanyl can come into and how it's added to other
When somebody says, well,
drugs.
It's this drug that I'm using, say they're using marijuana. Well, fentanyl can come in powder, pill, or liquid form. So, say, for example, your vapes are a big thing.
Yes.
We see those in the high school and some in the middle school. And vapes, according to our SROs, they're seeing the problems, but the liquid vapes can have it introduced into them. So if someone introduces fentanyl into a vape and you inhale that, it could be enough to get into your system to kill you.
They can pour it into alcohol drinks or any kind of drink, really.
They can pour it into drinks, pill form, powder form, and that's why when we're out doing narcotics, anti-narcotics work in the community, all of our narcotics officers, all of our patrol deputies, law enforcement, public safety, firefighters, we all carry Narcan because we want to make sure that somebody runs across fentanyl and they're succumbed by it. We want to be able to save them, and the Narcan has been a blessing to help us save lives. Now, a lot of people say, "Well, you've been to that house. We hear it on the scanner. You've been to that house multiple times for overdoses." Yes. What we're hoping is at some point those persons that we reach out to will try to get help, and we will try to direct them to where they can get help. But if it was your child or your relative, your family member, and that person was in distress due to an overdose by taking a drug that had fentanyl contained in it, you'd want us to save their life. And that's what we do in law enforcement, protect and serve and save lives, and that's what we will continue to do.
Exactly right. Now, with the new year, we have some efforts for some new programs underway. The new Veterans Diversion Program, that's in the early stages, but it's something we're trying to develop and get going. Talk about that.
Philberger Jr., who's one of our justices, Judge Freeman, our clerk of court, Abner Bullins, our district attorney, law enforcement, our agency, are working together to bring the Veterans Court to Rockingham County, and the effort is to help our veterans that have come out of theater, have come back to the communities that may have problems that are associated, and then they're getting in trouble. And we want to do our part to try to help our veterans to get back on track because they made sacrifices. Some made ultimate sacrifices, but our veterans have made sacrifices for the American people, and we want to do our part locally to help our veterans get back on track where they can be productive and they can be safe and secure and not have problems. We want to try to help our veterans where we can because they stood up for us, and we need to now stand up for them.
Absolutely, and I think it's going to be a great program.
I appreciate everybody involved. Bring the program forward, and I know you're going to be working on the grant side of it. And again, when will it happen? Hopefully between now and the new budget year, July 1. Hopefully somewhere between now and July 1. That's not too far down the road. We'll be able to move forward, be able to receive the grants monies to make this program happen in Rockingham County.
Right.
But I thank everybody that's participating. It can't work unless everybody works together in a collaboration.
That's right, and we're very good about doing that here in Rockingham County.
Absolutely.
The agencies working together toward a common goal.
Absolutely.
Also, efforts are underway and have been underway to start a MAT program in the jail. Now, MAT's an acronym, M-A-T.
Medical Assisted Treatment.
Why don't you tell us about that, what it does, and how it can help?
Basically, as we're going back to conversation with opioids, substance use disorder, a lot of times people come to our jails, they either have medical issues, mental health issues, addiction issues, or all of those issues. And so, over the past few years, we were looking at suicide reduction in the jail, prevention and reduction. We're looking at persons that are detoxing that could be in a dangerous situation because they're detoxing. Could be pregnant and detoxing, and you have to do certain things, particularly with pregnancies and substance use disorder, because it can be very dangerous. And so we want to make sure that we're doing everything we can to save lives, because I'm responsible. Our agency, as the Sheriff's Office, is responsible. I'm responsible for making sure that everybody comes to our jails are looked after and protected while they're in our custody and care before they go back into the community or go back to the prison system. And so if they have an addiction, we want to make sure we're dealing with that situation, we're aware of it, and treat that situation while they're in our custody and care. And then if they are getting out, we want to make sure we have someone, a social worker, that will help transition them to the help they need to maintain that support when they get out. Right now we have a cycle of people getting arrested, coming in our jails. They got drug issues, they're going out, they're overdosing. Some die, some overdose, some we can save with Narcan. They end up back in the system. But if we don't try to break that cycle, it's not going to stop. You can't arrest your way out of addiction.
That's right.
And addiction didn't come in overnight. It came over a period of time, and it won't be solved overnight. So, many years down the road, I'm not even sheriff anymore. We'll be working toward continue to fix these problems. But right now, the fentanyl crisis is the most dangerous thing I see in our country right now that is taking lives. Mm-hmm. And it concerns me greatly. But you've got to have everybody on board, from Washington to Raleigh to local. But what we're doing here is we're looking at a local fix to help. Suboxone is a substitute drug that helps stabilize the persons that are using the drugs. My understanding is that I can't think of the particular drug right now, but when the person gets Suboxone, there's also another drug that helps reduce. It's like blocks the receptors where that craving for the drugs. Mm-hmm. So that's in that substance too. So you basically stabilize the person and try to get them back on track for recovery.
Right.
Okay. But it's a long term. But the thing about it is we have many people come to our jail that need help, and there are many people in our jail. They didn't start out doing bad stuff. It came over a period of time. We want to try to get those persons back on track to be productive citizens, because when we have productive citizens, you have less crime. You have people doing good for their families, their kids, and you improve the quality of life in your community.
Right.
So we at the end goal is we want to improve the quality of life for our citizens, and if we have persons in our jails, you know what? Some people can turn their lives around too if they want to.
Absolutely, everybody's worthy of a second chance.
Exactly.
Just like you said. Now, a few days ago, we had an armed robbery at one of the stores here in Rockingham County. Thankfully, no one was hurt during the exchange. They took some money out of the store.
Very dangerous situation. And I will tell you this, is that whether it's a convenience store, grocery store, anywhere, a parking lot, we say this a lot of times during the holiday season. If you're out shopping and you see something that looks unusual, that doesn't look right, go to that phone, call 911 and let somebody know. Okay, I was in Washington about a month and a half ago, and while I was up there, myself and another sheriff, we were walking up toward the Capitol, and it's a little park right before you get to the Capitol, about a block away, and we saw the police up there. So, being a sheriff, I'm going to ask a question. What's going on? It turns out there was a guy sitting on a park bench about 15 minutes before we got there that had an AR-15 that was sitting on the bench. Now, even in Washington, that's unusual. But the thing was how did they know about it? A citizen, my understanding, got on the phone and called 911 and said, hey, there's a guy here in the park with a rifle. You might want to send somebody. And they did. They ended up taking the weapon away from the subject, and it turned out that he apparently had some issues. He'd come from another state, but he was sitting there, and it makes you wonder, what was his intent? What was he going to try to do? But when you're sitting there with an AR-15 loaded and stuff like this, and you're in those setting right there, you just never know. That just goes to show you can't go anywhere. If you see something unusual, report it. If you see something, say something.
Absolutely.
Call it in, 911.
Absolutely. Now we're two officers closer to having all of the schools covered with a school resource officer.
Right.
We have placed two in our schools.
We just hired one new school resource officer. One of our deputies who's been with us for a while has been transferred to duties up in Bethany Charter. Mm-hmm. Dwayne Andrews is up there, and of course
Shannon Talent.
Deputy Talent is at
Bethany Elementary.
Mm-hmm. So we really, if we can hire two more deputies and trained school resource officers, all of our elementary schools will be covered.
That's right.
So while I'm looking at this camera, if you're interested in an opportunity, if you're a sworn officer, and you live in the Piedmont and you're looking for a good opportunity, you just come out of rookie school or something like this, and you're looking for a good opportunity, We have openings at the Rockingham County Sheriff's Office.
We do.
We also have openings in the detention side. And then again, like I said, we'll try to fill, because we like to put experienced officers in the schools. And so, if we have someone that's interested in coming to work here, come by the office, pick up an application, fill it out, and get it back to us. You can go online and apply.
Yep, RockinghamSheriff.com.
Yeah, and also, if you're interested in work in county government, if you'll go online to the Rockingham County website, you can see the information about job listings and postings, or you can go by the Governmental Center, the HR section. They have that information posted also. So if people are looking for work, there are opportunities in county government here in Rockingham County. Come see us.
Absolutely. Well, with that, I think we're at the end of our program for this month. Do you have any final thoughts for us?
Well, again, I always tell everybody, thank you for the opportunity to let me work for you. And Kevin, we try to put out a lot of information to help keep you safe. I always tell you when I'm in parting, said, please have a great day, be safe. And again, like I said, if you need anything and we're out here, and you see something that doesn't look right, call. And if you have a concern or a question, Kevin, you and I are the easiest person to pick up the phone and call us.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Our number is 336-634-3232. That's our main 24/7 number. If you need to get in touch with us, call that number or any of the numbers of the Sheriff's Office. They'll find us, and we'll try to answer your questions.
And if you want to sign up for our information distribution list, get on our email blast for various news and information coming from the Sheriff's Office. You can do so on our website. Again, that's RockinghamSheriff.com.
And if you want to start a community watch group, who do they need to call?
They can call me, Lieutenant Kevin Southard, or email me by going to the website there, RockinghamSheriff.com, and we'll set something up.
Again, it's a great opportunity. I'm looking forward to a great 2024, and I hope everybody has a great year. Be careful out here during these winter days and stuff. Be careful, watch your speed, and be safe out there.
We'll see you next time right here on Sheriff Spotlight.